About a week and a half ago, Netflix dropped a new movie with Will Ferrell and Rachel McAdams, and it seemed to have caught a lot of people by surprise, so let's check it out. Welcome to Silver Screen Talk. My name is Luke LaPointe. I recently started this channel because I love movies. They've always been a huge part of my life, and I want to talk about them with people who love them as much as I do. Now make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below, and also, as this is a movie review, we will be talking about Eurovision. I want to hear you in that comment section. What did you like about the movie? What didn't you like? What do you agree with me on? What don't you agree with me on? As we all have differing opinions, and I want to try to find a middle ground for us. That being said, let's go. Now, Netflix dropped this movie on June 26th, Eurovision Song Contest, The Story of Fire Saga, which is a mouthful. And to be honest, when I saw the trailers a couple days before that, I did not have high expectations for this movie. As of the last few years, I feel like Will Ferrell's shtick has been getting a little old for me, a little boring, tired, and I thought this movie was not going to be good. I thought, given its source content with Eurovision, which I had to look up, and once I learned about it, I thought it was going to be a parody of Eurovision, and I've been pleasantly surprised the couple times I've watched it. I really liked it, and part of those positives are the cast. Will Ferrell actually did a great job in this movie. I think he didn't, I don't want to say he didn't phone it in, but like, he had fun with this and made it emotional. Not to mention, he had a great castmate with Rachel McAdams. She has that it factor. When she's on screen, you care about her and her character. That's always been the way with her for me. And I think she did a great job. I mean, the way she played all those emotions was just so compelling and so emotional for the audience because you felt everything that she felt. I also love Pierce Brosnan as the father. In his limited screen time, I think he did a great job with Lars' father, showing just the type of emotion he's feeling, which is why Lars is feeling the way he feels. And the fact that you can see him go from disappointed to proud just says a lot about the messaging in this movie in general. Also, another huge positive from this movie is the music. The music is amazing. I think it is some of the best music we've got in a movie in a while. You have some really catchy songs in there with like Double Trouble and Ya Ya Ding Dong, which Ya Ya Ding Dong I know is going to be stolen by TikTok in about 2 weeks, so that song's not going to be enjoyable anymore. But they're really fun songs that just keep you really engaged, and also you have some songs with some emotion and some heart in it. With the final song, Husavik, that song was amazing. It was a masterpiece, really. And it brought so much emotion to that final scene, to what was happening between Lars and Sigrid, and it made you tear up a little bit, smile, kind of the way the audience was reacting in that movie. And I wouldn't be surprised if that song got nominated for a Best Original Song Oscar, because it really deserves it. Another big positive for me was the scenery. Being in Edinburgh and in Iceland, it allows you to film in some really beautiful places, especially in Iceland, and I think they took full advantage of that. I think some of the scenes in Iceland are just immaculate. They are beautiful. And also, Iceland itself is a little bit of a character, as it is loved. It is something that is being put through these trials and tribulations with Fire Saga, and is really the main subject of our final song in that movie. So it really took advantage of using Iceland in that movie. And also, the humor. As this is a comedy movie, some of the humor hit really well for me. I think the natural humor between Rachel McAdams and Will Ferrell, they are very charismatic, funny people. They did a really good job with that. Some of the stuff, like, again, the Ya Ya Ding Dong stuff, the song is going to be a TikTok song. And the guy yelling "Play Ya Ya Ding Dong" is going to be a meme in about 2 weeks. But that being said, some of it was really funny and it hit really well. However, that was also a negative part of the movie, is that some of the humor was very forced, in my opinion. You do have a comedy movie here, but that doesn't mean you have to go for every joke all the time. I really think this movie should be marketed more as a dramedy so they could focus more on the plot, as they had a very strong plot that moved along really well and made you care about your characters. But when you do that and you throw in these slapstick jokes, it turns the audience off. When you're talking about, oh, we're finally successful after all this failure, and then the next scene, Will Ferrell sticking a doll down his pants to make his junk look bigger, those don't mix very well. They don't. And it turns the audience off, and it doesn't make them care about your plot at all. In addition, I think the movie was too long. Right now, I think it sits at 2 hours and 5 minutes. They could have cut about 15 minutes out of that movie. Focus more on the plot, and it would have been an amazing movie. I felt there were some scenes where I was just bored. I wasn't really paying attention, even on multiple viewings. Specifically that party scene with the song-along. While it is nice to bring in those former Eurovision winners from real life, I didn't really think it was a necessary scene. I think that all that scene did was just made us feel like a little more of a spread between Lars and Sigrid, but that could have been done a different way. Lastly, my last criticism is Dan Stevens. He was very good as Lemtov, but I feel like he was overused. I didn't feel like his character was truly an antagonist. Yes, he brought a little bit of separation between Lars and Sigrid, but that could have been done in less screen time, in my opinion. I think he was overly used and didn't serve a huge purpose to this plot. So I feel like if he was more of a side character than he already was, and we focused more on our two main characters, as they are two charismatic actors who did a great job with these characters, we would have had a better movie. But still, I had lots of fun with this movie. I really love the music. I really vibe with it. And this is a movie that I probably will continue to rewatch, as there are not a lot of movies coming out. It's sitting with pretty good reviews right now, with 63% on the critic side and 80% on the audience side for Rotten Tomatoes. If I were to go on Rotten Tomatoes and rate it right now, I would put it somewhere between the 75 and 80% mark, which is very good. And my grade, I'm going to give it a B, which means it's a very good movie with room where it could have been better, but still very watchable, very rewatchable, and I highly recommend it. I think this is a movie that a lot of people will like, despite the mixed reception, like the mixed opinion it seems to be getting online. I think a lot of people will like it, and a big draw is the music. You will love the music. And that's it. That's all I've got today. Make sure to like and subscribe, and also leave your thoughts down in the comments section. What did you like about this movie? What didn't you like about Eurovision? Where do you agree and disagree with me? Because my opinions are not the end-all, be-all. I want to hear what you have to say, because that might change how I watch this movie. Thank you so much for tuning in.